The 261 burned out a clutch, so we got a new clutch, and we are going to video the process of replacing that. And Chief here has got a couple tricks that he's gonna tell us. Do you want to start with the string?
Time is money. That's the issue with replacing a clutch.
All right, so here's this little C-clip that you gotta start with.
Here we go. There it is.
Okay.
We remove this. I call it a circlip. Is it not a circlip?
Some
call it an E-clip.
I've called it a C-clip, but I don't know what it is.
Some folks call it a Kaiser blade. Some folks call it a sling blade.
After that, you're pulling off that little washer.
Lay everything out in order. The words go outside. These roundies go inside.
Yeah, and then that is facing outside.
Right.
As opposed to that. That's facing inside.
Amen to that. Here is your clutch drum, which is riding on a fine little needle bearing. Don't lose this guy. This little needle bearing right here.
Okay.
Here's the cause of our problem. This little spring busted.
Yeah.
But now it's fried. It got all burned up.
Yeah, let me go ahead and show that too, because this is a good learning opportunity. Notice how the bluing of that metal.
Wow.
And I do want to give some credit to David from our local Ace in Marion, North Carolina, because he kind of took us back there and showed us some of this. But yeah, that bluing, he thinks it could easily be caused by inexperienced guys snapping on the chain brake while the chain's still running. I have said not to do that, but
they just don't listen.
It's hard to stay on top of people when they're doing
here's
that.
Here's a cool trick. We're gonna pop, I've already pre-loosened this. We're gonna pop the spark plug. By the way, if you need to know, 20 thousandths of an inch spark plug gap. Might as well check it while you've got it out. And now, while this is open, you can shine your light down in there and watch that piston come up. I'm gonna rotate it until you see that black scored up piston come up.
There we go.
That's it right there, isn't it? Okay?
I saw
you
it.
see the top?
Yeah.
Okay. Set it back down. That's top dead center. So now rotate your engine. It'll rotate freely because there's no compression because the plug is out. Now it's at bottom dead center. Okay? TDC, bottom DC. Okay? Now the cylinder's piston is all the way down in the cylinder. You use this rope just to stuff the cylinder full. Instead of it being able to rotate freely, it's going to lock against this piece of rope. Nylon rope.
And this is important to do with the clutch replacement?
Yeah, it acts like a wrench. What it's going to do, it's like a fist pushing down on the piston. It won't let it come all the way to top dead center because this rope is blocking, is filling the cylinder, okay? So if the piston can't rise, now it's locked up and we can torque against it with our wrench, okay? Careful of these threads, but I'm just going to guide the rope into the hole. Don't want to tear these threads up or scratch them in any way. Nearly there.
I had to write that on this wrench because guys have broken so many of these by working
a longer handle,
a pipe over that jack. If you're watching, this video's for you.
Dude, I've used a 10-foot pipe before. You got to make sure you're using a Craftsman because I've returned 3 of them in one day before.
That's not fair to Craftsman.
Enough rope hanging out that you're not going to do something foolish and get it lost in there. This is reverse thread.
Okay.
And it is 19 millimeters.
Okay.
Cheating. I've already pre-loosened it. But now it's going to float. It's going to float. We're rotating the piston. We're rotating the piston.
There we go.
And there it is. Now it's at top dead center and it should be locked against the rope. As I said, I pre-loosened it. That's coming out. So notice this is not turning because the piston is locked up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But before you had to put a lot of pressure on it.
I put an enormous, I had to grab the long bar to get it loose.
And that rope held it in place for you.
Here is the old burn up clutch.
Nasty.
And here is the brand new clutch.
They're just over $50 right now.
These springs can be replaced. That should be wiping grease up off of this surface. Wow. You like for things to be clean, don't you?
I don't care. Right now, at least. That's terrible,
Let's
though.
get that out.
Holy smokes.
Let's clean this up. We're in here.
We're gonna clean it with compressed air mostly, right? And maybe a bristle brush.
Before I
That's
do,
disgusting.
I want to see if there's anything loose. I don't want to lose it. Look at there. Okay. That is locked. Oh, cool. They put this little wire here to stop that from coming out accidentally. I'm going to leave it in place because I don't have the tool handy to grab those two ears.
Is that a piece of grass or something in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing how stuff can possibly get underneath there.
I'm going to use, there's still a lot of juice left in this paper towel here.
Well, you know the boss, he hates wasting those blue towels and cotter pins. We can get 20 more uses out of a cotter pin, we're going to do it.
Okay, I'll tell you what, you could make it part of annual maintenance to replace these springs because they're about, I don't know what David said.
I don't think we
$2-3
need to do it with the other saws. The 261 is probably the weakest of the group. I don't know. It could also be, like I said, the abuse.
It's the one that
It's probably the
used
abuse that other people have been snapping that chain brake on. So when you're letting your chain come down, I mean, putting the chain brake on before you move is a requirement. We're all about that. But let it slow down in the cut, you know, or let it slow down in a piece of wood or something. And then put the chain brake on and then move.
The words go outside. See those words?
Okay.
It goes out. Here's our new clutch. The hump of the springs goes outside.
Okay.
And it's reverse thread, so we install it this way. Okay.
All right, so we got our torque wrench set to 37 foot-pounds. That's what we were finding STIHL recommends for other model saws. Couldn't find that specific guidance with the 261, but we assume it's going to be something around the same. Chief said, yeah, that was it.
Click.
Click, and then boom.
Nice and clean. I guess we can inspect it while we're at it. None of them are loose or cracked, or don't see any breakage in the housing, which appears to be just a thin piece of steel. Looks good. Clutch drum. What do you call that? Drive dog? Something like that. This sprocket here.
Yeah.
And this little dished washer. And a clip. Bink. There it is. Good as new.
That's it.